In this episode, we'll be seeing entrepreneurship through hip hop. Helping us with this is a certified life and business coach, author, and entrepreneur. Welcome to the show, Tori. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. Like I said before we started recording, I was very, very curious to already speak with you because I've never, you know, looked at entrepreneurship being combined with hip hop or, how one could fuse both of them together. So I was like, yes. I was super excited to speak, with you or just to jump on this call basically. So I'm doing good. I'm doing very fine.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode for Soulful Conversation. And just to kill my curiosity already, I would just like us to jump into that already. Like, what
Mhm.
inspired you to fuse entrepreneurship with your passion for hip hop?
Well, to be honest with you, it really was a capstone class for my master's. My professor wanted us to create a book that was about business, what we learned, our experiences with it, and definitely put together just like if you wanted to put a how to, if you wanted to put together like just your knowledge on it to go for it. And for me, since my love and my passion of music was really huge, and hip hop during that time was pivotal. I was listening to hip hop all the time. I mean, music has its own language. Like it fits with every emotion, and you can listen to certain music for your emotions to like push you through or to like really calm you down or ground you. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to infuse both of these. One is because my passion for business was very big as well, and to make it more unique and to make it more me,
Hmm.
I infused it with hip hop. And I mean, if you look at hip hop culture, you look at hip hop as a whole. It's an organization, it's a business,
Yeah.
and we have different artists who are constantly growing and coming into this arena, and they are sharing their gifts, but then they're sharing, their products, they're sharing, their brands, and it is really just the proof in the pudding of what a business is from different viewpoints. And with that, I was able to combine the two and show like, a lot of these hip hop artists or, people in hip hop culture, they're entrepreneurs and they start off from the ground up.
Mhm.
So it's showing how that, grind comes in with entrepreneurs too. You start from the ground up. Some people don't start off with a company that's handed down. So, they're starting with their own marketing. They're starting with their own, building their brand, building their products, and then getting it out there. And once they're getting it out there, then continuously pushing and then now building their team. So that's how I pretty much put it together. It was more of a capstone class. And once I did it, my professor told me I needed to publish it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I would like to read that. I'll place the link to your website in the show notes of the episode. So anyone who is curious, like myself, or who would like to, pick up the book, should just get to your website, find the details to how to get the book and, read your
Yeah.
book also.
I mean, and it's also on Amazon too. So you can definitely like just put in my name and put in the name of the book, The Sound of Business, Seeing Entrepreneurship Through Hip Hop, and it'll pop up. So it can definitely be mailed to you quicker.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
Amazon does that. That's true. Yeah. Yes. When you were sharing that, thanks so much for sharing that. When you were sharing that, the picture that was in my head was basically Empire. I don't even know if you've watched this series.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, so like seeing Cookie in my head and and all the hustling basically, and
Hmm.
to maybe even though they had a lot of patches, starting from the ground up, building up an empire for themselves, and
Hmm.
that was what I was picturing when you were speaking about having these aspirations and then doing all your best. You don't have everything handed down to you, then you try to like from nothing, from scratch, build up something up for yourself. I
Hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, that's hip hop culture for the most part. Like a lot of hip hop artists, when you think about it, where it started from, Bronx, Brooklyn. You had different people who were in their basement or, in their homes mixing and mastering music and, coming together and either throwing these parties or, b-boying and dancing to these things in the streets. And it was something that started a revolution. So now you've seen the growth. You see how it can definitely, move people, whether it's moving people in a positive way, in a negative way, because it can do both. But you can see how it can definitely get people going. People have an aspiration to want to perform. They have an aspiration to want to be an artist or, to get their music, but it's ideally get their voice out there.
Mm.
It's more than just the music. It's for them getting their thoughts out, getting their voice out there, having people, who probably have gone through that same struggle know that they're not alone. So getting that information out there and being able to share their vision, share their voice, it takes time. And you've seen a lot of artists, and you've just seen hip hop as a whole just grow with that because it evolved. And these people evolve as entrepreneurs, you evolve too. It's always a roller coaster. So it was the perfect thing to mesh. And I mean, yeah, Empire definitely showed it because with those scenes, just know them starting from the ground,
Yeah.
building up. He was in his, if I'm not mistaken, Lucius was in the garage or something like that.
Yeah.
Doing the mixing and mastering. And Cookie had did a whole, a jail bitch. She was hustling, trying to get money for this stuff. So it's a whole to do. Like they were partners in that, and
Yes.
it's a not everybody has to do that. Not everyone has done that route, but I mean that was the perfect. Yeah, when I think about it now, I haven't seen that series in years, but when I think about it now, it's like yeah, it definitely did show the grind that they did to get to where they were today. Yeah, so yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yes. I mean, I've not seen this series also in ages. But when you were speaking, it just came to my mind like so blunt. I was like, wow, okay. And I can picture it. What I can picture you're saying. Yeah. Well, for people out there, for example, who are listening so far, and you're like, yes, Tori, this is so nice. But what do I have to do to turn my aspirations into reality? Like for
Hmm.
people out there who don't even know about hip hop, for example, how would you advise them?
Ideally, it's a matter of having a goal. Have a goal, have a plan, and execute. Um, you know, a lot of times you can have goals of why you want to do it. I just recently said it on another podcast. Like people can definitely have these goals. Like, the new year starts, you set these goals. I'm going to go work out 3 times a day. I'm going to go, eat differently. And they know those are things that they have to do, but they don't really go and do it. The new year can start. Oh, I'll get to it next month. And then next month becomes 6 months from now. And then it's the same resolution the year after. But when the why and your purpose of what your goal is strong and it's driving you, it's easier for you to now go out and execute for your goal to come true. And if anybody has a dream, anybody has a vision, and if their vision definitely has a strong why, if their vision is helping them grow, helping their family grow, helping the community, grow, or if there's a specific, not a niche, I would say a niche, a specific niche, but mainly if there was more of like a target market, if you're helping youth, if you're helping women, if you're helping dads or young men, and it can be anybody, but when their why is strong and they are purpose driven, then that's when it's like it's easier for you to now go out and execute so that way you can accomplish those goals and trust and believe those goals are attainable. And then once they happen, another one is created. So it never
Mm,
just stops there. It just keeps going. So literally know your why, know your purpose, what's driving you to do it, and then go get it done.
yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
No reason why you are placed on this earth. Know your why. Yeah. And follow it. Well, there are a lot of people out there, for example, who think, yeah, it's important for me to know my why, but are there some things I have to do in order to know if this path is truly mine, if this is truly my
Hmm.
purpose on earth? I don't know if there's a way you could help them with that.
That I would say is definitely a matter of your trial and error throughout life. You start realizing over time, especially with your experiences, you know, what is my purpose? Some people, till this day, we have people, age doesn't quantify for when you're supposed to know your why. You have kids who wake up and they know what they want to be when they grow up. And you have adults who are now probably older in life and they are still figuring out what is their purpose here. And I know for me, they say that the strongest currency is love. So what do you love to do? What drives you? So that way it's not, you're doing a job, you're doing something that you love. So now it's more like, it's like you're breathing. It's not It's not a hassle. It's not, something where it's like, oh my God, I got to get up and do this today. It's more like, I want to get up and do it, or I'm having fun while I'm doing it. So I'd say take your life experiences and really reflect on them. Sit down over time and see, like, what lit you up, what sparked your fire, and start to compile those things, because then too, ultimately it's about understanding yourself. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? So that way not to do those dislikes in business, or not to affiliate those dislikes in business, so that way you can have, a strong foundation, because nothing can build on a faulty one. So it's a learning process over time. It's not something that, you wake up and be like, okay, I got it. It's you start to understand yourself more, and as you get into that groove, those trial and errors, you'll start to make those tweaks and get more, solidified on what it is that your purpose is, who it is you want to help. And I mean, life changes. So as your life changes, those, like I said, your goals may change, and sometimes even, the people that you're trying to help, or your reasoning for why now becomes a little bit different. If it was so broad before, it could probably now shrink down and be really, really concise. And then now you have a focus, a different focus, but it's a stronger push. And there's never nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, true. How do you deal with, the struggles that come with being an entrepreneur? Like you've actually defined, how to find your purpose and all of that. And then you start the journey. You found it already. You found that reason to wake up and smile and just breathe and just do what you love. But then I believe you face a lot of struggles on that journey also.
Life is not always easy. And, heavy is the head that wears the crown, they say, right? Everyone has their own struggles, and their own struggles is a part of their journey to craft them into who they are becoming on this earth. Who are they meant to be and bring forth in this earth? The struggles of entrepreneurship is a whole to do, like it is not a linear path. It is definitely a roller coaster. And not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur either. Some people, having that like being unpredictable, having that not knowing that stability of, am I going to make it this month on rent? Am I going to make it this month on like paying my bills? Because the beginning of entrepreneurship, and sometimes even during the flow of it too, can be very unpredictable. And it's about having that steadfast mentality, having that, strong faith in yourself and in what you're doing, to know that, hey, I can have a low moment now, but I know that I'm going to rise again. And keeping, your focus on that journey, on that outcome. So the struggle can be different for everybody and anybody. For myself in particular, my struggle had to do with identity. My struggle had to do with health. My struggle had to do with mental. It was a ton of different things that I went through in my journey, where I had to pull apart these things and essentially heal myself and go through my healing, go through my understanding, and pour into myself and love on myself in order for me to be able to now, speak to the others and let them know that they're not by themselves. To give them, even if it's a small slither of hope, or, just to give them some bits of information or advice that they can probably take on their journey and go. And ideally, if I'm able to help one person, I completed my mission. I don't look for the masses. One person, because one person can change the world. So it all depends on you and what your struggle is, and just know that you can definitely overcome it.
Yeah, thanks so much for that word of encouragement. And you mentioned of something that, I believe affects a lot of people. A lot of people, struggle with their identity and how their identity, matches with their journey or their purpose in life, basically,
Mm-hmm.
or also background and, what they're able to achieve because of their skin color, or where they're able to reach because of their ethnicity or beliefs or all of that. But you just have to keep on pushing, like, as loving and accepting yourself, and just keep on pushing
Mm-hmm.
forward and keep on breaking those glass ceilings. And some people say, like, if they don't provide a place for you at the table, then create your own table and
Mm-hmm.
have your own seat there.
Legit.
Yeah.
Legit. do it. I mean, I always say, I love to do so many different things, and I was trying to figure out how in the world, when I first started, how in the world was this all going to come together? And instead of just going down one path, I decided just to create my own lane.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I'm able to do all the things that I love to do, and I'm able to help everybody the way I want to help everybody. But then too, I end up seeing that now, like as I was doing these bits and pieces of the puzzle, it all came together. I was like, oh, this is why I was doing it. Before I didn't
Mm-hmm.
make any sense of how this is all going to align together, and it all ended up aligning. So it's it's keeping steadfast on that journey, and knowing like, hey, this is the way that your creativity and your mind and your vision is, pivoting you to do. Definitely go with it. And it's always mastering a new lesson, mastering a new tool. You add it to your toolbox, and then you'll be able to now create bigger and better things. So
Yeah.
yeah, create your own lane,
Yeah,
create your
create
own
your
table.
lane. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was listening to a song talking about. I'm going to ask about your playlist. If you have a playlist for when you are trying to fight through a day. But I was listening to a song back then, some days ago. I think it's Afro music, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about he's on his own lane. He's running fast because there's no traffic because it's his own lane
Mm-hmm.
basically. And I was like, yeah, when you're talking right now, I was like, yeah, makes sense because if you are doing what every other person is doing, you will end up in traffic
Yeah.
because all the cars are on the same road and the road doesn't take as many cars as it
Mm-hmm.
should. But if you create your own lane, like you said, then you just drive smoothly on your own pace. You have some pit holes, some bumps on your way, but you're on your lane, no traffic, you
Mm-hmm.
just keep on moving.
And ideally too, like, you're innovating these new things in your way.
Mm,
There are a ton of people doing the same thing, but none of them are the same people. So their delivery is not the same. So when your perspective is based off of what you were able to do, what you were able to contribute, and how you were able to deliver it, and you're not focused on everyone else of what they're doing, how they're doing it, how are they succeeding in it. Your focus is straight on your goal. And I mean, that's just like I feel like if you look at sports and, if you ran track or you swam or something, it was always like, always look towards the finish line. Don't look towards the people beside you, because then you get distracted on those runners. You may cut into their lane. May now slow yourself up because you're looking side by side instead of at the goal or at that finish line, and looking to the path that you have to run
mm,
or the path you have to swim. So ideally, it's the same thing with business. There are going to be people that are probably having similar products, someone who's doing a similar service, but they're not
mm,
you. They don't
mhm.
have your essence. They don't have your spirit. How you deliver it is how you do. And there's no one identical to you. Even if you have an identical twin, they are two different people,
Yeah,
and they have their own spirit that comes with it. So focus on that. And when you're able to really just hone in on what you're bringing, then you'll see like it is a difference. People receive it differently, and then your audience is different too. So your
yeah,
audience is ready to find you. Yeah.
yes, yes. There's a place for everyone. There's a market for everyone out there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm now you answered the other question about the playlist. Do you have like a playlist for
Uh,
this?
Actually, I do not. Well, okay, I'll take that back. I have a playlist. I have a playlist. I have a playlist, especially for like my wind down. I mean, I feel like as I've gotten older, over the years, my playlists have changed, and then like the frequencies I listen to as well have changed. So before, like in college, I was like diehard hip hop, R&B. Now I'm neo soul and some R&B, or I'm listening to solfeggio, beats or binaural beats to frequencies and binaural beats, and I'm just like more on that just level because my ear is so sensitive. Like it's funny. I love music so much. I can listen to. I have a ton of people who produce music amongst my friends, and they'll send me music like, T, can you listen to this and tell me what's missing? And it's like, okay, cool, I'll listen to it. But then because my ear is so sensitive, and now also with being a mom, and she my daughter's 2. I'm
Yeah.
turning 3, and hearing, her high pitch of laughter and stuff like that, my brain after a certain time is ready to tone it down.
Yes.
So I'm like,
Mm,
there's certain music and frequencies and language I don't want to hear. I'm ready to just mellow out and relax because,
mm,
balancing business, balancing home life, it's so, all over the place too. And it's fun, but you can get tired. So I need stuff that's going to relax me. So my playlist has definitely toned down a bit.
yeah.
But best believe when I do have my moments of being on the road and, my daughter not being with me because the language of the stuff that I was listening to is not for her ears. um, Definitely when those songs come in, it's
Mm,
just like those songs just came out.
mm,
So for me, that's what it feels like. Like I'm rapping them in the car, and I'm singing at the top of my lungs, and I'm in that moment,
mm.
and it takes me back to when I first heard it, and it's just like probably I first heard it again for the first time. So I do have those playlists, but I mean, more now as a mom, I'm more mellowed out.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's always time and season for different kinds of music. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I mean, same for me too. Like, I think my own taste of music has also changed from time. And yeah, and I have different kind of music for different moments. Like if I'm working
Hmm.
out, I would like to listen to some kind of songs that makes me push, 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 go, go, go.
Right.
Yeah, and when I'm trying to study, I also listen to frequencies, like just the binaural beats. Like, wow, yeah, it really helps.
Hmm.
I just
It
discovered that a
does.
while ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I do go to sleep as well. I mean, I don't know. It's so relaxing, but then too, it's healing in that process. And then I found that even a lot of artists, especially in neo soul, they use those like solfeggio frequencies or those binaural beats or different instruments and tuning in their music as well. So it's even more interesting the breakdown of just how like the music has evolved and how they use those tones, whether they're trying to heal during their music or getting their consumers to relax. So it's been as my music choices have changed, I always will say like, hey, I'm still an R&B. I'm still a hip hop person. I
Mm.
still love I'm loving Afro beats now. You mentioned it earlier,
Oh
so I was like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yes.
I was like,
Afrobeats, yes.
yeah. So I am loving the Afro beats and stuff now. But
Yeah.
I mean, hip hop is always gonna have my heart. And music in a whole because I love jazz. I love jazz. I can listen to country. I listen to classical. Like I just love music. So the ear, it just I guess like you said, it just depends on the time of day,
Yes,
the time of day and the
yes.
feeling I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm happy you talked about your daughter because that's the next phase of challenges I would like to us talk about basically, like not because of your daughter, as a parent for example, and
Hmm.
also people that don't have children right now, or, other phases of their lives, maybe they have relationships or other parts of their lives apart from their business.
Right.
How do you balance it all, like every facet of your life with your business and be successful with all of it?
Ooh. Um, it takes a lot of work
Mm,
and it takes a lot of trial and error. You have to find that flow that works for you because not everyone's flow is the same. You have to find that time and be intentional with the time, whether it is being intentional with your partner, being intentional with your children, being intentional with your family, intentional with yourself on top of that too, because you have to have that self time to just recalibrate and reset, love on you, because if you're not good, no one else around you is going to be good. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to find a healthy balance. And as you grow in business, as you grow as a person, those same things that you were doing before, you may have to switch up again
mm,
because different tools, different tools for different levels, like how we previously talked about.
yeah.
And I will also say it's a matter of knowing what you consider to be successful. That is one of the biggest things, and you can apply that with business. You can apply that with your own life. You can apply that with your relationships. You can apply that to your happiness, and your version of joy, your version of success. Everyone can have a version of joy or success for you. And when you are following those versions of it, are you ever truly happy, or are you ever joyful, or ever feeling fully successful?
Mm.
Those are not your visions of it. You're going by someone else's. So you have to understand, what do you see as your vision of success, and what do you see as your version of joy? So that way you can live that out, because now you're walking in your authenticity and not based off of someone else's expectations.
Yeah.
So once you find that balance and you make that balance work for you, however it works for you, switch it up however often you need, that's when you'll be able to see, like, hey, this is me successfully, balancing it out. But it all depends on the person and how you look at it. I mean, I'm handling it. Sometimes I feel like I'm not handling it properly,
Mm.
Sometimes I'm feeling like it's fleeting me, like I'm fully in business mode, and I'm missing out on time with my daughter, or you know I'm not taking care of myself mentally or physically, because I'm pushing to get things done from business or taking care of her, and I'm neglecting myself. So it's times where you just have to, like, take a moment and do, like, an assessment. What is my body calling me to do right now? What area of my life is calling me to just, like, sit? And once I'm able to do that, then I'm able to be like, okay, I got to make some quick changes. I got to pivot right now, pour into that sector, pour into that part, so I can get that balance back. And once I'm able to do that, then I'm like, okay, I'm back in my flow.
Mm.
I'm a little more
Yeah.
balanced, and I keep going. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, I like what you shared. Like, it's all about trying different things out, different ways out, and no one has it all figured out. You just try different things that work out for you, and
Mm-hmm.
cut your clothes according to your own size and pattern and design. Don't let
I love
anyone else
that.
define what you actually do. Yeah.
I love that saying that you just said. Oh, I like that one. You should coin it. You should definitely coin it. Definitely put it on a t-shirt. I would buy it, because that is definitely it. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, I mean, I could relate to that because, a lot of times we try to want to go with what the society is telling us, what our friends are telling us. Oh, you want to be successful, do this, do this, do that, and you'll be successful. And then you do it and you're like, no, this is not me. But then you keep on doing it
Mm-hmm.
because you think that's what you are supposed to do. And that way
Mm-hmm.
you lose yourself in the process.
Yeah, or you get burnt out, and it's like, yeah, this isn't fun. Like, this worked for you, and I'm glad it worked for you, but this is not working for me. You
Mm,
really got to find what works for you.
yeah,
And yeah, that's when it comes in. Everyone's unique. Everyone's needs and wants are a little bit different, and it's okay.
yeah.
Good. It works for you. More power to it with you. But for me, I cannot keep up with this. I gotta change this up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, if I'm vulnerable at this stage, I would say I've relaxed in this sense in a lot of ways. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I don't sleep so much during the week because I have a lot of things I want to achieve and all of that. And when I see some of my friends sleeping for 10 hours, 9 hours, I'm like, are you sure you want to be successful? Why are you sleeping that long? But then now, from different conversations and lessons, I'm like, okay, if you want to sleep for 8 hours and you're able to do other things and be successful in your work, yeah, sleep 8 hours, sleep 9 hours, sleep as long
Mm-hmm.
as you want to sleep. Don't be like
Mm-hmm.
me. You don't have to sleep for 4 hours, then, also all day. If that doesn't work for you, you just burn out and kill yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Sleep 10 hours and do what you have to do. And yeah, as long as you're able to achieve your goals, then you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Allow
Yeah.
everyone to be where they're at.
Yes.
Because you want people to allow you to be where you at, instead of hearing, you don't go to sleep. You always up for 4 hours. That, like, you sleep for 4 hours and that's it. And I used to hear that too. I had my hours shifted. I used to probably sleep all of 4 hours, maybe three,
Hmm.
and would be running and getting stuff done. Like, always on the go, always doing something. My brain was always moving. I was so tired, so burnt out. You have a kid, you can't sleep 4 hours. I look at her and I'm like, I'm tired looking at you. Like, you have a ton of energy. Where is this energy going? And by the time I put her to bed, I'm ready to go to bed. Like, are you going to bed at 9:30? All right, I'm just going to clock out at 10, because I need a couple extra hours. Like,
Yeah.
hours change. So go with the flow of your body, what your body's calling for. Definitely.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So from your experience, are there like some, skills you could teach us, for example? time management skills. Like you have different things you do and you have to, attend to. Is there a way you manage your calendar, manage your time to be able to attend to your baby and business and yourself and life?
Full transparency. My
Mm.
grandmother has always said, every therapist needs their own therapist. I'm a coach. I need my own coach. Okay, I have
Yeah.
my own coach. And I set aside those times. So I have a time where I speak with my coach and she can help me keep me accountable, just keep me on my P's and Q's. I journal. I have a couple of calendars. I have the calendars on my phone so I know what's going on. I have the calendars in my planner and how I'm planning things out. So I'm seeing it written out, I'm seeing it digitally. And those are things that I found that work for me. And having people around me too who, are able to know what's going on and just do a quick check in like, hey, was this done today? As you grow, as you have a lot of things on your plate, you're only one person,
Yeah.
So time management is difficult. It is difficult.
Mm.
But I would say, even if it's you set aside time for you in the morning. I know before I used to have Mondays and Fridays where I would minimalize the amount of heavy work I would do. Also, so I could be really intentional with my daughter and go over like educational stuff, but so that way I can plan. And now it'll be like me doing my journal, me planning for the week, for the following week, or me planning for months ahead, me doing a recap of my week on Fridays, sitting down in the mornings doing my meditation or getting my 10 minutes of meditation in. It has changed, but ideally having the right people in my corner too has helped. So accountability partners have been great. As your businesses grow, as you grow, you need help. You can't do it all by yourself. So if anything, I would say definitely collaborate with somebody. Both of you have a vision together, a group of you have a vision together that you want to be better. Collaborate with them so that way you guys can all hold each other accountable. So that way you're able to knock out the task and people can be like, hey, was you able to do this today? Did you eat today? Like,
Yeah.
did you take your minutes today? And that can definitely help. So those would be my tools. I can't give you a structure on wake up at 5 a.m. and do this. Wake up at 7 and do this at 7. I can't. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
But I think those would be my tools. Definitely collaborate with a group of people to help you, hold you accountable when you hold them accountable and, find a flow that works for you too in that process.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. I mean, being accountable to someone and being someone's accountability partner could help a long way. Like holding each other's hands to just, pull each other up towards your goals.
Yeah.
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 That's
Can't do it alone. The saying goes, you can go faster by yourself, but you go further with people.
Mm.
Which one would you prefer to do?
Yeah.
I prefer to go further.
Yeah.
Faster can get real tiring.
That's true. It could get exhausting at the point.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And you're talking about, coaching and that you're a coach yourself. So I want you to like tell us how we could connect and work with you. For someone out there who wants to like, improve their business, improve their life. What's the best way to do it?
Yes. You can, I have openings for clients. So if you want to come and call with me, definitely book a discovery call. You can go to my website, thesoundofbusiness.org. So essentially the book is the name of my company. So
Nice.
The Sound of Business, thesoundofbusiness.org. Go to the services, book a discovery call. Let's see if you fit. And let's make these unique dreams realities and let's, get you guys on the best path for yourselves because everyone is unique and everyone is meant to be out here shining. So I think that would be the best way to get in contact with me for sure.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. I will place the link to your website in the show notes of this episode, thesoundofmusic.com, and also the link to your book.
.org.
Oh, .org. .org. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, .org.
Thesoundofmusic.org will be in the show notes of this episode. You could copy the link, you could just click on the link and get across to Tori, and also get the book, also the same name, The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Business.
Oh man, I'm messing this end up. This The Sound of Music. Now I have to go back and watch The Sound of Music. Oh man, The Sound of
that's
Business.
You need to go watch that show now. You need to go rewatch it.
I will watch it. The Sound of Business.org is the website, and The Sound of The Sound of Business is also the name of the book. Please get the book. The link will be in the show notes of this episode. Thank you so much, Tori. I really appreciate your time on this podcast episode. I learned a lot from you. Yeah, it was. It was.